Hi, I'm Jim Lowe, and welcome to one of my High Country Video Chronicles. This is day 6 of my 2021 French Canyon long backpacking trip. I know if you've seen the gear prep video, or the food prep video, or even the first video in the series, you were probably expecting me to stay out for 8 days. And the truth is, I was planning on staying out for 8 days. I am prepared to stay out for 8 days. I've got all the food and gear that I need. Unfortunately, a situation came up at home right before I left, and I'm no longer comfortable letting my wife deal with that situation by herself. And, truth be told, my sprinkler fix wasn't as complete as I wanted it to be before I left, and she's been dealing with my workaround for 6 days, so I'm sure she's been cursing me out. So she'll be happy to see me home. In any case, last night was not the relaxing last night out that I had really hoped for. I was up thinking about how I'm going to get down today, and looking back at some of the video that I took. And I think what happened yesterday was I started getting into that slot canyon, and my concern was that there was no way through that slot canyon, and so I went up. And as I came up, looking down on the canyon, I mean, there's that one section of canyon that was almost perfectly flat, and that's maybe the first quarter mile, or the first 2/10 of a mile, and it looks like I can get there easily from right down over here. And yesterday, as I was looking down from the ridge here, I could have sworn that I saw a trail. Now, as I was making my way up, I was following a slight trail. Now, whether that was a game trail or whether it was a trail by a person, I don't know. I got to the slot canyon, and the trail either said cross the creek or go up. And I decided to go up because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get through that slot canyon. Now, looking down from this ridge here, I can almost see a trail in a portion of that slot canyon. Now, I don't know if it's an actual trail. I don't know if it's just lightening of the sand. It makes it look like a trail. So I'm going to go down there and check it out. Best case scenario, I get down there. It's fairly easy going for the first 30 minutes. What I'm hoping I won't run into is the canyon walls are completely closed in, and I have to wade down the creek. Now, wading down the creek is an option. It's safer than when I had to deal with yesterday. There were some cases yesterday, and I don't know if I caught it on video, where if I had slipped, I would have slipped and fallen back and gone over the canyon, and that's no good. So making my way down a wet creek, presuming that there aren't any there aren't any large drops. And that's another thing. When I was looking at the canyon, I could have sworn that I saw waterfalls, but as I was looking back at the map today, there's nothing in the map to indicate that there are any waterfalls on that creek. So hopefully, worst case scenario, I have to wet wade down the creek, and the worst thing that could happen is I slip and break a leg, or heaven forbid, I step on a rattlesnake. If I get down there and it looks like it's not passable, and there's a way back up to the edge of the canyon, then I can do that. As if I get there, once I get past a certain point, once I get past a certain point above that canyon, it wasn't so bad. It was very steep, but I could stay 20, 30 feet away from the edge, no problem. Zigzag my way down. It was steep. It wasn't an issue. The only thing that I would have to worry about is bears or whatever that was that I saw yesterday. Yeah, so I guess that's what's happening today. So the plan is I'm gonna hopefully get packed up and eat and everything by 7. I'm gonna fish for 3 or so hours, and then I'm gonna head back. I'm thinking it's probably gonna take me 6 hours to get to the car from here. The lip situation today feels better. This is the first night that I've had where they actually haven't stuck together. So I don't know if that means they're healing or what that means. But yeah, when I get back to the car, the first thing I'm doing is heading into Bishop and getting some lip balm. Now, I'm not seeing any fish working the lake yet, but hopefully around 7 things will start to pick up. I did see a little action. I saw the most action in that cove in the corner. So there's a little flat there, And so I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put my waders on and do some wading out there. Okay, hat cam engaged. I'm going to apologize now if the footage isn't all it could be. My luck with this thing seems to be a little bit spotty. So I'm going to start here and work my way down to that cove. That cove is where I saw the most action yesterday, so I'm probably going to work through here pretty quickly. I caught my first fish over here. It seemed like I should have caught fish over by that rock. It didn't happen, so I'm going to work that hard, but I'm not going to work this too hard. Jeez, I'm having a hard time roll casting today. So, the plan is, same as the last couple days, I'm fishing the gold ribs, hare's ear, and stillwater nymph. Gold ribs, hare's ear, I've got a darker version on. The idea is it will hopefully imitate that black caddis that I saw, and the stillwater nymph is my scud imitation. Now the gold ribs hare's ear hasn't caught any fish for me. Well, I had the black version. The black version, what the heck? Why am I not casting well? The black version did catch fish for me. Not as many fish as... Why does it feel so heavy? It feels really heavy. There we go. Did catch fish for me. The standard version has not. Now, I think the black version caught fish for me when I was basically sight fishing. I threw it right in front of them. Boom, they'd grab it. All the other flies that have worked for me, so the case caddis, which I've got a weighted version of, but I don't have the unweighted version. All the other flies that have worked well have been the dropper. And I don't know if it's because of the action of the dropper, the action of not having any weight. Man, I am not casting well this morning. What the heck? I don't know. So we'll see. No fish activity that I can see yet. The sun's been up on the water for about 20 minutes so far. So strangely, I've broken off. I don't know how. It happened on my roll cast. I did figure out why I was casting so badly. I had some line wrapped around my rod. I did see a fish that was taking emergers. So I've oh, there's a follow and a rejection. Let's see if he'll take it on the drop. What was I saying? Shoot, can't see him anymore. I did see some caddis activity, but I'm not sure if that's what he was after. Yeah, casting much better. Oh, so what I was saying is I put on the case caddis. It's the weighted cased caddis though, and so I'm a little concerned that it is just too heavy, and it'll just sink too fast. But we'll see. I found a bunch of fish in here, smaller fish, but still something that I can, sort of bounce ideas off of. What I'm noticing is they're looking down, which makes me think case caddis. And like there's one right there. Nope, he just moved. He just tossed my fly in front of it. Maybe not close enough. He's going down and he turns around. Not going after that. I've got a midge on because I thought maybe they were going after midges. I'm absolutely stumped. They're obviously taking something high in the water column as it's emerging. I've tried a midge. They didn't really seem interested. I'm not seeing any caddis coming off. I mean, I know the caddis are there, but you see this one right out here? Whatever it is, it's just under the surface, and they're not looking at anything on the surface. They're not coming up for anything. They're taking it right before it hits the surface. Interesting. This is to make things even more confusing. I now see mayflies coming off. Size 14 mayflies, size 20 mayflies, size 18 yellow caddis, and midges. I've got about an hour to fish. I've come over to the same area where I saw the most fish yesterday, and I'm not seeing any active fish now. I guess the best I can do is put on the same patterns as yesterday and hope that they work. It's 9:30. I'm gonna fish my way back to my pack and head on out. Got on a beathead pheasant tail, which I'm casting shallow, letting it sink, and then I'm pulling it up. Well, I'm usually one that believes that presentation is more important than pattern, and so a little uncharacteristic of me to keep switching patterns. So I'm here fishing over a bunch of fish, and you know, the presentation that I think should work is letting my fly sink and then letting them come to it and pretending like it's emerging. And frankly, that's not actually working. So I feel a little bit better about not catching fish earlier. And there's a fish right there, and I don't know what he's doing. He's just swimming around in circles. Wow, what an interesting problem to solve. Usually at a lake, finding fish and finding what depth they're at is your biggest hurdle. Then is presentation. Rarely is it fly selection. And even after going back and fishing over those fish with what I thought was going to be a an adequate fly choice, using the correct presentation, which was that of an emerging insect, they still had no interest. So, interesting problem to solve. You know, if this was a lake that you could get to a little more easily, I might want to solve that problem. But right now, I've got another problem, and that's how I'm gonna head back. This looks pretty benign over here to the left. I think I can come cut across that way and then go down. The other possible option is that far side there, but I think this looks easier. And as I recall from the other side, this looked like the way to go. I'm trying the best I can right now to keep my shoes dry. Not too worried about my feet getting wet. My waders had a hole in it, so my one foot is already wet. But this granite, when it's wet, it's slick. And so if I can keep my feet dry, I'll have better purchase. And you know, it's funny, I'm so close to where I came in. So you see that flat spot? I came in over there, and then I came up and around, and then I came down, and I hugged the right face there until I got to the rock pile. And you can see, it looks like if I needed to, I could scurry right up that back on top of the bluff. That is, if I get hung up in that slot. That must have been where I came from yesterday. See, there almost looks like there's a trail here. Okay, fall number 1 in the books. I didn't hurt myself though, at least I don't think I did. And I'm seeing any number of bailout points that will take me back up to the ridge if I need to. So, let's see what there is to see. And here's where it starts getting steep. So, I guess we'll find out whether it's hikeable or not. But it does look like it just drops. I just don't know. Let's see where this goes. We're past the most dangerous section of the rim climb. So if that'll take me to the rim, I think I'll just go down that way. I don't know if this is a little ledge or if this is where I was yesterday. Kind of looks like where I was yesterday. In fact, these could be my footprints from yesterday. Yeah. Here and here. If I remember correctly, should be okay from here down. It's steep, but nothing too dangerous. There was only one section that was a little slippy and right near the edge. And I'm not too concerned about that. I was most concerned with the open granite, and I think we're past that. So, yeah, I think this will be a piece of cake all the way back. Sleepless night for nothing. 20 feet or so from the edge, I can find my way and be safe doing it. Much more like what I was dealing with yesterday. And look. Oh, that looks like that might be a bear print. Yeah, that could be a bear print. Down over here somewhere is where I came up the bluff, but I might see if I can take the bluff all the way down. Now I'm wondering, the creek goes up and around like that. I'm wondering if I can just cut this way and meet it over there. Actually, when I'm trying to make myself known to bears, what I really do is I sing. I go through about 15 different Elvis songs, and I don't know, 30 minutes of Jimmy Crack Corn, and probably another 15 minutes of what should we do with a drunken sailor. Those are my big three for getting rid of bears. Yes, I know it's the blue-tailed fly, but most people don't know it as the blue-tailed fly. Anyway, I need to sing. I'll get back to you guys when I get to the creek. Here we are, back at the creek, which will take me to the trail, which will take me to my car. So it only took an hour to get down, and so I don't know, maybe 3.5 hours in the car, I think. My opinion's changed now that I found a better way to go down and up, and who knows, you might even be able to go up that slot canyon. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you watched the entire series, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the videos, and thank you for coming along. This trail down is the worst. I can practically see my car, but it's going to take me 2 hours to get to it.